Every night, millions of people promise themselves the same thing. Tomorrow, I'll finally start. Tomorrow, I'll wake up early. Tomorrow, I'll exercise. Tomorrow, I'll study. Tomorrow, I'll change my life. But tomorrow keeps disappearing. And after a while, something dangerous happens. You stop trusting yourself. Not because you're incapable, not because you're lazy, but because your mind has become addicted to intention instead of action. Centuries ago in Japan, a young swordsmith fell into this exact trap. He dreamed of forging legendary blades. He spent hours imagining the kind of man he would become. He studied famous warriors, collected expensive tools, and talked endlessly about the masterpieces he would one day create. But he avoided the forge itself, the heat, the repetition, the exhausting daily work. And nearby, another swordsmith worked in silence. No speeches, no motivation, no grand promises. Every morning before sunrise, he simply began hammering steel, slowly, repeatedly, daily. Years later, one man had beautiful dreams, the other had mastery, and that difference quietly explains why most people never change their lives. Because modern people are obsessed with motivation. They think action comes after feeling inspired. But Japanese philosophy understood something far more powerful. Action comes first. Motivation usually comes later. That's why the samurai trained even when tired. Why monks repeated the same rituals every day. Why craftsmen practiced one movement thousands of times. They did not trust emotion. They trusted rhythm, and honestly, that changes everything. Because the moment you stop waiting to feel ready, your life finally starts moving. One of the biggest lies modern culture teaches is that successful people are simply more motivated than everyone else. But if you study the lives of great Japanese craftsmen, samurai, monks, and martial artists, you notice something very different. Most of them were not relying on motivation at all. They relied on systems, rituals, habits, daily repetition. Because motivation is emotional, and emotions are unstable. Some mornings you feel powerful, other mornings even small tasks feel exhausting. If your actions depend entirely on how you feel, your progress becomes inconsistent too. The samurai understood this deeply. A warrior who trained only when inspired would become weak in battle. A swordsman who waited for perfect conditions would never improve. So instead of building their lives around emotion, they built them around discipline. And discipline in Japanese philosophy was never about screaming at yourself or forcing endless productivity. It was quieter than that, more controlled, more sustainable. A samurai polishing his sword every morning, a monk sweeping the same temple floors daily, an archer repeating one movement thousands of times until it became part of his body. To outsiders, these actions looked repetitive and boring. But repetition was the entire point, because repetition creates identity. The dangerous thing about modern motivation culture is that it makes people addicted to intensity instead of consistency. People want dramatic transformation, massive overnight change, one huge breakthrough moment. So they create impossible routines. Wake up at 4 a.m., exercise 2 hours daily, read 50 pages, meditate, journal, completely reinvent life overnight, and for a few days it feels exciting. Then exhaustion arrives, the routine collapses, the guilt begins, and the cycle repeats again. Japanese philosophy approaches improvement very differently. Instead of asking, "How can I change my whole life immediately?" it asks, "What can I repeat every single day without failing?" That question changes everything, because small actions survive emotional chaos. Reading one page feels easy. Practicing 10 minutes feels manageable. One push-up feels almost laughably small. But tiny actions repeated daily begin reshaping a person quietly. This is why the philosophy of Kaizen became so powerful in Japan. Continuous improvement through small repeated actions, not dramatic intensity, tiny progress, repeated consistently, trusted over time. And honestly, human beings underestimate how much life changes through repetition. A river cuts through stone, not through explosive force, but through continuous movement. People transform the same way. The swordsmith who forged legendary blades was not creating masterpieces every day. Most days he was simply repeating ordinary movements, heating metal, hammering steel, sharpening edges, again and again. And eventually, those repetitions became mastery. That is why Japanese mastery often looks unimpressive in the beginning. The movements are small, the progress feels invisible, but invisible progress is still progress, and over months and years, it compounds into something extraordinary. Modern people often quit because they cannot immediately see results. But the samurai believed something important. The process shapes the person long before the results appear. Every repetition strengthens identity. Every small promise kept builds self-respect. And every time you act despite resistance, you teach your mind something powerful. I do not depend on emotion to move forward. That is real discipline, not intensity, not perfection, continuity, the ability to continue even when excitement disappears. And honestly, this applies to almost every part of life. Writers rarely feel inspired every day. Athletes rarely feel energetic every day. Artists rarely feel confident every day. But the people who eventually become extraordinary are usually the ones who continue anyway, quietly, repeatedly, without constantly needing motivation first. And maybe that's the real difference between dreamers and masters. Dreamers stay emotionally attached to the idea of success. Masters become attached to the process itself. They stop negotiating with their feelings every morning. They simply begin, even imperfectly, because they understand something most people realize too late. Your future is not created by intense moments of motivation. It is created by repeated actions that slowly become part of who you are. One habit, one repetition, one ordinary day at a time.